Hi, this is Susan from the Quiet Zone Coaching. I'm here with you on April 2nd, 2020, for the next episode of my coronavirus isolation journal. And today this is going to be fun today. Today I wanted to talk to you about superpowers. Okay. We all have superpowers. Batman and Superman have nothing on us. We've got superpowers that we don't even know we have. So, how do you find these superpowers and what do you do with them? And how can they help us get through the current crisis that we're having right now? So, we're going to talk about that a little bit. First of all, what are your superpowers? Who are you? Okay. How well do you know yourself? And a really good way to kind of discover that a little bit is to figure out what your value system is. What are the things that you think are important in life? What are the things that you think are important for human beings to have? What qualities? And some of those, they can be things that are really basic, like compassion and honesty and any one of a number of things. There are as many different qualities as there are human beings. To give you some examples, um, these are some of the values that my clients have told me that are important to them: honesty, reliability, kindness and compassion, hard work, efficiency, commitment, open-mindedness. Okay. Some of mine are knowledge, wisdom, reason, logic, kindness, dedication, loyalty. I think you see where I'm going here with these. What I want you to do is get a notebook or piece of paper and write down what the values are that are important to you. You can use those values now to determine what your superpower is or superpowers are, because most of us have more than one. The next thing that I want you to do, and that's a deep dive, that could take you some time. So take your time, use it wisely, and you can do some internet searches to see what some examples of values are if you're kind of stuck. Then what I want you to do is to ask yourself, who do I want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? You might already be that person. You may already be exhibiting the qualities that are important to you. These items of what you want to be are going to be very closely related to your value system, which is why you want to do the value list first. I'll give you some examples. Again, these are real examples that my clients have given to me. One of them is, I want to be a kind and compassionate person. Well, you know what? Probably about 75% of the people on the planet are going to say that. I want to be the kind of person who sets healthy limits. I want to be impactful and help the other people in my world. Some of mine are, I want to be someone who is curious and wants to keep learning. I want to be a person who is pragmatic, logical, and reasonable while still being compassionate. I want to be the kind of person who has the ability to help others learn how to help themselves. So teach the man how to fish instead of give the man a fish. And I also want to be a good problem solver and a person who is flexible. My favorite was given to me by a client, and she said, I want to be the kind of person my dog thinks I am. And I mean, how meaningful is that? If you have a dog, you know exactly what she's talking about. So here are the ways that you can identify what your superpowers are. Okay. One of mine, for example, I really value knowledge, wisdom, reason, logic, learning. These things are important to me, and I want to be someone who is curious and wants to keep learning. So, learning is one of my superpowers. If I don't understand how something works, then I need to understand. I'm going to learn everything that I can about it. that's one of my superpowers. And I can share that information with others. That's how I became a life coach in the first place. I solved a problem for myself. And because I learned about it and I found out how it works and I found out ways to fix it, I brought that now to other people to help them with their journeys. What are your superpowers? What are your values? What is the person that you want to be? Now you could take this even a step further and say, okay, well, here's my value system. Here's the person that I want to be. All of your actions in life should revolve around those two lists. Okay? Because if you don't behave in a way that reflects your value system, you're going to create a cognitive dissonance, which is kind of where what you really believe and your actions are not in line with each other, and it causes mental stress, okay, to really simplify. So you want your value system and your list of who you want to be the basis for your actions, your behavior, your attitudes, okay? And when you're unsure, you can ask yourself, well, what would the person that I want to be do? What would the person that I admire be doing in this situation? And now like I said, we could take this further by saying, how can I use them? What would the person that I want to be how would they use their superpower right now to help themselves or to help others or to make the journey through this once in a lifetime experience that we're having smooth? How could you do that by using your superpowers? Now, what you can also do, and this is the great one, because now you're going to build self-confidence, you're going to build self-esteem by taking all of this information and creating self-talk that revolves around it. Okay, so remember we talked about in an earlier episode, watching yourself talk. How are you talking to yourself? Are you telling yourself that this is a horrible experience and this is terrible and I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills? Or are you telling yourself, hey, I'm experiencing something that no one else in my lifetime, in a lifetime, is going to experience. This is a unique situation. I'm going to learn everything I can from it. I'm going to take everything I can from it, and everything works out in the end. So I'm going to see where this leads and how this is going to change our society and change the world. How are you talking to yourself? So you can use these values and who you want to be and what your superpowers are to create self-talk around that. So I can say, good for me. Look at that. I went online and I learned something new about the way the virus is spreading or how other people are handling it. Um, my father-in-law lives on a small Caribbean island, and the way that they are handling this to me is just absolutely spectacular. They're very strong and strict while still being kind. I was in just such awe of how they handled this, and now I have a new respect for the people who live there and how they manage their country. It's a tiny, tiny little country. So what I could do is I can say, hey, good for me, pat myself on the back, golfer's clap. I took the time to learn something about another culture. And I have admiration for it, a new admiration for it. Good for me for being open. That's my superpower, is learning new things. And I just use that to learn something new. Use your superpowers to create positive affirmations. And I almost hate to use that term because it's become so cheesy. And to be honest with you, the straight up version of positive affirmation, it doesn't work, okay? You can sit in your chair and tell yourself all day long what a wonderful person you are. And if you don't really believe that, your subconscious is going to sabotage you. You will never feel like you're a good person. But if you base those affirmations or self-talk on real incidents, real concrete things that have happened that you have done or that you have learned, that is something that your subconscious can't argue with. You can build your self-confidence and build your self-esteem without your subconscious limiting belief system getting in the way. Okay, so let's just say, for example, You want to be a kind and compassionate human being. And that's your superpower. So you feel like my superpower is taking care of other people. So what are some ways that you can take care of other people? I think I had mentioned in a previous video about if you have an elderly relative or neighbor that you can call up and say, hey, I'm going to go to the store to get supplies. What do you need so you don't have to expose yourself? And you get them and you just drop them off on the porch and say, there you go, love you. I don't want to expose you to anything. If you need anything, call me. What did you just do? You have created a situation in which your superpower has come to the forefront. You've done something to make yourself feel good. You've done something to take care of other people. And you can now create an affirmation about that event because this is real. Your subconscious can't argue with that. Good for me. Pat myself on the back. Golfers clap. Look what I did. I am a kind and compassionate human being. There it is. Okay. That's how you bring goodness into your life, is by recognizing the good things that you do. This is why I have my clients start off learning that baseline of right here in this moment, right now. What you did 10 years ago does not matter. What you're going to do 10 years in the future does not matter either. What matters is what you're doing right now, how you're feeling right now, being grateful and positive for this moment right now. Okay. I am tremendously grateful that I can work from home, that I can create these videos for people out there that might be helpful to them in managing this pandemic, coronavirus, and everybody's freaking out. And I just want to have everybody understand that if we keep ourselves in a place of right here, right now, and find something positive about it, we will survive. Okay. The human race has survived much worse than this. Our society is going to come out better because of it. What lessons can we learn? What things can we do to change everything, our lives, the way our attitudes, our society for the better, to make this work for us instead of against us? So find out, identify your values, identify who you want to be, identify your superpowers, and create some positive self-talk around them. And you can use this experience to build up yourself and learn something about yourself and create a better human being, if nothing else. You can say you survived it. So I hope you've enjoyed this series so far. There are going to be a couple more coming up. Namaste. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you within the next few days. Keep watching.